It's a beautiful day. It's Friday, and we're just out walking, taking in the traffic on this busy street of Pittsville, and just enjoying time together. I'm here with my best friend, my state-sanctioned, my God-ordained and approved wife, Shauna. And obviously, we're not 6 feet apart, but that's okay because we're married and we live together. But it made me think about how important it is to have a friend in the middle of everything that we're going through. You know, I quoted last week a little passage, a very small verse from Ecclesiastes about how there's a time to embrace and a time to refrain. And right now, as we go through this social distancing thing, there's also a time to keep in mind that there are small businesses all around us that are closed, or they have to reduce, what they're doing, whether it's just takeout or delivery service but no dine-in. It's a great opportunity to help support them. But the passage in Ecclesiastes that I was talking about, I thought that we would take another look at, because Solomon, as he writes Ecclesiastes, this is an amazing book, and if you've read through it, this is the wisest man to ever live. Sorry about that truck going by. So the wisest man to ever live, and he talks about he searched for the meaning of life, and he has found that almost everything in life is meaningless. But listen to what he says in chapter 4. So here in Ecclesiastes chapter 4, Solomon writes this. He says, "Two are better than one because they have a good return for their work. If one falls down, his friend can help him up. But pity the man who falls and has no one to help him up. Also, if two lie down together, they can keep warm. But how can one keep warm alone? Though one may be overpowered, two can defend themselves. A cord of 3 strands is not quickly broken." We also have another friend. And you've probably heard it through the songs, that we have a friend in Jesus. But I love when Jesus turns to his disciples near the end of his ministry, and he tells them this. This is in John chapter 15. It starts with a very famous line where Jesus says, "Greater love has no one than this, that he laid down his life for his friends." But then catch this very next line. "You are my friends, if you do what I command. I no longer call you servants." Waiting for the truck to go by. "I no longer call you servants, because a servant does not know his master's business. Instead, I have called you friends, for everything that I learned from my Father I have made known to you. You did not choose me, but I chose you and appointed you to go and bear fruit, fruit that will last. Then the Father will give you whatever you ask in my name. This is my command. Love each other." So if you're as lucky as I am to have a friend like her, then you are a wealthy person. But even if you don't have that special person in your life, someone that even the law says it's okay to be close to in a time like this, you have a friend in Jesus. It's interesting to me that this is near the end of Jesus' ministry when he calls his disciples friends. But throughout his ministry, Jesus always had one friend who he was very close to. In fact, he would leave the crowds, he would leave his disciples to go off and be by himself so that he could pray to the Father. He could be with his friend. I think this friend is the most important friend of all. And as we look one more time at that passage in Ecclesiastes, I want to point out something that maybe seemed a little odd to you at the end of that passage. Let's take a look. So here in this passage again, all these references are to two. See, it begins with two are better than one, etc. If one falls down, his friend can help him up. But it ends in verse 12, though one may be overpowered, two can defend themselves. A cord of 3 strands is not quickly broken. I believe this is a reference to the fact that it isn't just you and your best friend, whether it's your spouse or whoever, but it's you and your spouse, and it's Jesus. The 3 of you together are a force that's very difficult to break. It's important that we keep rooted not just with our good friends and our spouses, but it's really important that we stay rooted with Jesus. And don't forget to patronize the restaurants and the businesses in town who are open. Today we're sitting across from the Pittsville Cafe. We're right down from the Horse and Around Saloon. And if you read your Pittsville record this week, there's a number of other businesses that are listed. There's Baum's Mercantile, which is just down the road. There's Bucks and Berries in Babcock. There's Subway here in Pittsville. There's Pittsville Farm and Home Center. There's a number of businesses at Little Bull Falls, just north of town. Take at least one time this week and try to hit each one of these establishments. Even if it's just a lunch or a dinner, you can pick it up and bring it home. But show your friendship to these families and these businesses in town. And there's also one more way that you can show it. Here comes another truck. There's one more incredible way that you can do that. I'll show you that here in just a moment. So if you're looking for more ways to be a friend to people, right here during Tears' normal office hours, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, we're taking a collection for Pans, the Pittsville area neighborhood shelf. We thought we would help to keep those shelves stocked as well by giving you an opportunity to come and fill up this cart. We'll take it over there every week. So anytime you're around Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday during Tears' normal office hours, feel free to come by. This cart will be outside, and you can put a donation in here. Non-perishable food item, cans, boxes of cereal, etc. But another way that we can be a neighbor and a friend to those in need. And if you're wondering what those hours are on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays, there you go. 9 to 1, noon to 5, and 9 to 2 typically. So we look forward to seeing you. Thank you for being a friend.